Johnny's Bite.
You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pricks.
Watch Johnny's Bite.
Bismillahir Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Now, today is the 26th of February, 2025. We give thanks and praise to the Lord God Almighty. And I want to say special shout outs to all those who spend time to watch Johnny's Bite. Increasingly, I get people telling us that, oh, we were watching Johnny's Bite, so we were late to work. I don't want you to be late to work. That's why I encourage you to watch us on Facebook at 3FM 927, on TV3 Ghana, and also listen to us on your radio at 92.7 on 3FM. And then for those who can go to work later, you have a late schedule, you can watch us on TV3, first in news, best in entertainment. But I encourage you to subscribe to 3FM 927, and so you are not late to go to work. Let me also doff my heart out to those who share our content, those who like it, those who tell the rest of the world, those who recommend our content to others to come and also enjoy and be part of active society. I encourage you to leave a comment and to also let's hear what your thoughts are on this matter. Thank you also to Suna Fashions in Tamale, and he made my special outfit, and I encourage you to get something from him. 0246 590162. That's 0246 590162. Yesterday I spoke about Galamsey. Yesterday, the Sector Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Dr. Emmanuel Amakofiboa, because look for that video. He spoke about Galamsey. Dr. Emmanuel Amakofiboa spoke about Galamsey. When I played this video, the minister said he was going to deal with the people who are in the heart of Galamsey, bankrollers, etc. He said he was going to deal with all of them. If I find me that Galamsey video in the eastern region, the Tiwa towards the Kede Road, the bridge. And yesterday I said to the minister that I applaud his efforts to say he wants to deal with the real Galamseyers, not the ones you find in the pit. I encouraged him yesterday as well to say that, Mr. Minister, I have never ever seen, each time we have this task force or whoever, they go into these Galamsey pits, you never see them declare that they found guns. We know that Galamseyers or some Galamseyers use guns to ward off those who may come to disturb them, for want of a better expression, from doing their work or perpetrating their illegality. There are guns. At every Galamsey site, each day is a good day to find some mineral, gold, diamond, whatever it is they are looking for. Each day is a good day to find it. We have not had a declaration of those things before. So number one is guns. Number two is minerals, gold, whatever it is. Number three is mercury, cyanide, and all of those ones. Number four is cash. There's always cash as a Galamsey site. The Galamseyers will tell you. I've done a lot of rural reports, so they will tell you that there's a lot of cash at the Galamsey sites. Lots and lots of cash. Because every day when the boys finish, somebody has to be there to pay them. So they don't declare the guns, they don't declare the gold, they don't declare the cash. There are generating plants or generators, if you like. Let's put it that way. There's fuel. There are lights for those who do their galamsey at night. These 6 items have never been declared before. We only see people being paraded to say they are galamseyers, and that's it. So, Mr. Minister, if this your fight is going to be a real fight, Dr. Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, you have shown excellence in Parliament. Now show it at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Not by launching apps and by buying drones and all of that. We have done all of that. It didn't bring us the results we're looking for. So I've asked you to look for these things respectfully. But in addition to that, Mr. Minister, yesterday you said you were going for those who buy the excavators, those who rent the excavators, those who clear the excavators from the port, those who import it, etc. You said we're going for them. No, show the Galamsey video. I don't want the minister's video. I like the sound of that. But you see, Mr. Minister, people are paid to do the work that you have taken upon yourself to do. There are people at the Minerals Commission. There are people at the Lands Commission. There are people at the Forestry Commission. And they are paid to do the work that you have taken upon yourself to do. There are people under the Interior Ministry. They are paid. Today is the 26th. I'm sure in 3 days they will be expecting a salary. If you ask them for what work exactly, I'm sure they will be fumbling. But they are paid to do the work you have elected as minister for the sector to do, because you don't want the nation to fail further than we have failed. So, Mr. Minister, put your eye on the Ministry of Forestry and the Lands and Forestry Commission. No, just Forestry Commission. Just focus on the Forestry Commission. There was once a leader at the Forestry Commission called Sir John. We got to a point where he even willed a portion of a forest for his beneficiaries forever. There were talks about Galamsey around him. Nobody did anything. The man we paid to handle our forestry activities was himself caught in the middle of the illegality. I didn't say it. It was found in a supposed will. That's one. Two, there's a man who took over from Sir John called Mr. John Alote. There's a new person sitting there now. Was he also part of the conversation? You see, you cannot do the same things and expect a different result. You know, be so. So the people who have brought us here, like we were told in the past, in the run-up to the MPP presidential primaries, that those who took us into the IMF are not the same pair of hands to take us out of it. It is the same with Galamsey. Those who were at the helm of affairs at the Forestry Commission, who brought us here, cannot be the same persons at the helm of affairs to take us out of the problem that they pushed us into. Please think about it carefully. I've told you 6 items to look out for: guns, minerals, cash. You're looking for generators, you're looking for lights, you're looking for fuel. Beyond that, the people who were at the helm of affairs at the Forestry Commission, for example, who looked and watched, maybe conspired or collaborated to have our water bodies destroyed to this point, to have forest reserve mined into, they themselves must not continue to be in those positions. Because if your government is justifying why people should be sacked, like staff of PMMC have been sacked, I'm told the Kumasi Bole Takwa offices, people have been sacked. And TUC is not happy about it, people being sacked. If that is the whole idea, for people being sacked because they were recruited beyond a certain period, then the people who were recruited before that period who are not performing, you should find a way to sack them too, because they are literally useless. If you are supposed to be at post and we are paying you money to help us solve a problem or to prevent it from happening in the first place, and you help worsen the problem, you are useless. You don't have to be there at post. Because the reason we hide you is for you to be useful. So, Mr. Minister, it is not enough for you to be going to the Galamsey site yourself, followed by some regional minister and some entourage, and you speaking to the press and talking tough. It's good. I like the vibe. But that vibe alone will not solve the problem, I'm telling you. Because your government doesn't want to declare state of emergency, even though I disagree. But I'm saying that the same hands that brought us here must not be the same hands that will take us out of the problem. Manoto on this Galamsey matter. Now, I am sad about the situation happening in portions of the north. And when I say the north, I'm not talking about northern region, I'm not talking about upper east, upper west. I'm talking, we all know what I'm talking about. The places that have not seen peace, have not known peace. The Boku now, Wale Wale, and many other places. I'm not happy about it. And I learned with shock that people actually find land, buy seeds, weed, till the dirt, plant the seeds, water it, nurture it, come and pluck out the weeds, let the plants grow or the crops grow. They harvest, they sell, and then they use the proceeds to go and buy guns to kill each other. I was shocked. And I asked myself, what manner of thinking went into this decision to go through all this stress and not yet think about expanding the farm, but rather to think about farming to earn, to kill another by buying a gun? It is just not sensible, my brother. And then I learned with greater shock that there are people who are here in Accra, who are in Kumasi and other big cities away from their home region, who are plying Okada trade just to make money, to buy bullets, to send to their contemporaries out there to fuel the fight. A fight which origin they do not know, because they may be just 40, 45, 30, 28, whatever it is. Their parents told them a story about the fact that this tribe and that tribe, we don't agree, this happened, that happened, that happened. My grandfather told me, my great-grandfather told my father, and that fight has set, we are fighting. Can we for a moment pause? I am a small chief up north. By the mercies of Yana himself and my paramount chief, Bonasale Futia II. And I'm saying that when I travel up north, I see the vast lands. And I keep asking myself, you see people who are tripping down coming to the south. And sometimes you see where they lie and the conditions under which they live. And you ask yourself, why would anybody put themselves through this stress? And then you ask yourself, why is nobody seeking to invest properly there? And then you ask yourself, if somebody comes to invest there and the whole time there's a fight, what will happen to the investment? Imagine yourself, you have, say, 20 million cedis. You have seen a huge portion of land. You want to plant a certain crop, you build a factory so that you can process it, add value to it, export it so we can eat some here and all of that. And then as soon as you finish, people start fighting. There's gunfire in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Would you have the peace of mind to even work? Would you even be able to work? So your 20 million cedis, Yamutu. And I ask myself, look, the 5 regions of the north now, they have a lot of potential because Accra is choked, Kumasi is choked, Takrady is choked, Eastern region is choked. Western region is choked. Western North, maybe Western North, we can open it up a bit. Go to Volta region, it's choked. Everywhere is choked. If we finish the Eastern Corridor route, and it is not by lip service, but if we get the roads minister to be focused, Governor Kwame Agboja, good morning to you. Alas Ansoyini, good morning to you. If we fix that portion, it will be easier and quicker to get to the north. And if people see that it's quicker and easier to get to the north, they will send their investment there. But how will people bring investment to you if you are fighting? It hurts me to see young, energetic, enthusiastic, bold, dynamic young people whose only focus is that I want to fight my brother. He belongs to this clan. We have been told that we are not together. There's something wrong somewhere. And you see, I always have said that people profiteer from this whole curfew thing. The last time I saw a budget, 15 million, and I said, hey, so this curfew actually takes a lot of money from. Imagine what 15 million can do. 15 million could actually set up a factory. 15 million cedis. It could set up a factory. It could set up something for people to get jobs to do. If at every quarter we are spending 15 million, calculate it, that's 60 million a year. 60 million a year, it can set up something. 60 million a year can set up something. So my brothers and sisters up there, tribal war can't solve the problem, as culture said. Tribal war, it can never solve the problem. No, it can't stop the problem. Whatever it is that you have been fed with, discard it. When you finish killing your brother and his children and his wife, and you burn their home, what have you gained? Really, what have you gained? When you finish killing your brother and his wife and his children, and you burn his home, what would you have gained? What would you have gained? I'm asking you. Now, let's talk about opioid. The BBC opened our eyes, and yesterday I heard statements in Parliament. Minister for Health Kwabena Minta Kando, MP for Dwaboso, speaking on the floor. Dr. Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings and Professor Titus Bayu and many others. They spoke passionately. You see, as a country, we've been playing ostrich with this problem for a long time. We know the boys take tramadol. We know they take blue. We know they take Benylin cough syrup. We know they take codeine. We know they take Indian hemp. We know. We just pretend. We know. Whenever the police does their raid, ask them the items they find. We know. We just are pretending as a people. All those boys you find on the streets and they'll be standing and be doing like that. We know. We have always known. We just have not been committed to fighting this. But you see, the good book says, the devil finds work for the idle hands. I'm not making an excuse for them. That's one leg. The other leg is how we also allow those things to get in there. And we have NACOC. We have NACOC. How we allow those things to get in here through the ports. And all our security institutions are represented at our ports, the port of entry. So how do these things get in here? Who is profiteering from it? While we look on to see the next generation totally destroyed. And you and I know that these things eventually will go to affect your kidney, your liver, whatever other organs will be affected. We know. And you know the sorry state in which our renal situation is in. But we have been playing ostrich with this for a long time. If you speak to Professor Titus Bayu or you speak to Dr. Gustav Janssen and all of, they will tell you, they have been telling us, we have not been just listening to them. That's all. I have a friend who is an investigative journalist, Mr. A, as I call him. We know. I have done stories on this. I've gone to the Adabrakais. We know the corners. We know where they sit. We know where they are. The question is, what alternative are we providing for them? What alternatives are we providing for them? Do we even have rehab centers in this country? Enough, spacious enough. Since the June 3 disaster broke in 2015, I've been asking for where our shelters are as a country. If disaster strikes today, touch wood, perish that thought. If disaster strikes today, where are our shelters? Will we have another NADMO official come to tell us that move to higher grounds? The people in Mepe who were abandoned by the previous government, some are still sleeping in tents. The people in Mepe who, for no fault of theirs, were hardly hit by the VRA's spillage of the dam. Some are still sleeping in tents more than 1 year on. There are people in Apiati who are still perching. There are people around the Kaswa Bundumburam area where the blasting happened who still have leaking roofs. So I ask myself, these are just pockets of it. If it happens on a national scale or a regional scale, how prepared are we? We are not prepared. I'm telling you. You can go to a home, somebody calls our phone or calls me and says, oh, my husband is abusing me and my child. You go and see them and you see that they have been badly beaten. You go to social welfare and they don't have a place to keep them. And they say, we are taking them to the police station. Police station, the people are already traumatized. You're going to mix them up with all sorts of people. We are not serious as a country. And that's why I expect the new Gender, Children and Social Protection Minister not to also leave us and go and live outside. And when we start talking, say, we saw that in this country before. Well, we saw that. We experienced it in real time. We experienced it. So if we decide, for example, that we are clamping down on this, which we should, where are our rehab centers? We don't even have shelters for homeless children. We don't have shelters. If we take the children off the street to say, oh, you stay here, let's interview them and find out where they come from, which village they come from, so we can even, condition them a bit and take them back. We don't have those shelters. Even the social welfare department needs social welfare. Our social welfare department, they need social welfare. Oh, I'm telling you. Have you visited the social welfare department office before? They themselves, they need social welfare. It is not because they are not qualified, though. They are qualified to be there. They know how to do the work. I went into one social welfare office and they gave me a bench to sit on. In the office, not outside, a bench. Chop bar bench. That's how our social welfare structure itself is. Sometimes the social welfare workers take it upon themselves to take the children that are brought to them to their personal homes. That's how, how they feel. Like so they take the children to their personal homes, which should not be the case. What if anything happens? We would overlook the fact that as a country, we failed to provide the right structures, and we will start focusing on the fact that the child was cut off the street, brought to you, you didn't take the child to the police station, the child has now died in your home, and you are guilty, and we will hold you to it, and we'll be dragging this individual who, out of good intention, was deciding to cover our shame as a country. And yet, every conference we attend, every treaty we sign on to, every agreement UN will bring, we are the first. Every treaty, we are shaking hands, we are smiling, taking photo. Sana diachi, sana diasa, sana diachi, sana diasa. A country called Ghana. Very soon we'll be celebrating our independence. Look, I'm just telling you how we have sunk so low, and I'm not blaming this government for it. I'm just telling you how we have sunk so low over the period. Because if somebody starts something, and another person doesn't continue, it rots. Somebody has to start all over again. That's why President Mahama is talking about reset, not because nothing has been done in the past, though. He's talking about the reset because I'm just trying to let you know the basic things. I know a street in Accra, major road, for 8 years, no light, no street light. 8 straight years, no street light. I've spoken about it and spoken about no street lights. New regional minister said, give me, is it 50 days? I'll make sure that the most parts of Accra are lit up. We are waiting. We are waiting to watch. We are also counting President Mahama's first 120 days in office. And so far, he has not disappointed. Cabinet minister, and I like what he said yesterday to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, that I will not come and ask you to print more money. I hope he keeps that promise. I will not come to ask you to print more money. I hope he keeps that promise. Because, look, it is hard. Forget about the fact that your party won. It is hard, we know. It is only, 1 month, right? Maybe 2 months. It is hard, we know. Look, find me that GUTA document. The Ghana Union of Traders, ahead of the reading of the budget, they have some demands. 26 February 2025, it's a press release. GUTA awaits business-friendly budget. Because we have had in the past Asempa budget, Ejuma budget, Inkabom budget, Impunto budget, Ajenkwa budget, and the last one is what? Is it Tetelesta or it's finished? I don't know. We don't see anything. GUTA awaits business-friendly budget. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, expresses optimism in the upcoming 2025 budget statement of the new government. The assurance given by the government to reduce the cost of doing business in the country by streamlining the tax system and effectively reduce taxes, duties, and levies is a step in the right direction. With this approach, we fervently expect the following: that, 1, all nuisance taxes will be scrapped to considerably prune down the number of numerous taxes that impede the growth of business in the country. 2, the value-added tax will be restructured to be more simplified, affordable, and uniform. 3, the weekly or bi-weekly use of Bank of Ghana dollar rate to determine duty payment at the ports should be pegged quarterly or biannually for the purpose of clearing goods. 4, we urge the government to introduce unconditional tax amnesty programs as a stopgap measure in its quest to broaden the tax base and to ensure non-tax businesses are enrolled into the tax net, and also allow businesses with tax irregularities to normalize their tax obligation to optimize government revenue mobilization. 5, compliance measures including effective education, monitoring, and enforcement would be adopted. 6, the fixed tax system of duty for spare parts as promised in the manifesto is highly expected to be implemented as a pilot scheme for future expansion to all other imported commodities. Above all, the budget should adopt a policy that will ensure stability of the local currency, reduce inflation, interest rates, and improve other economic indicators. And 8, government expenditure should be properly scrutinized. This part is dear to my heart, like the first part of scrapping nuisance tax. This one, government expenditure should be properly scrutinized. We got to a point where even ambassadors were begging us to cut costs. Church of Pentecost chairman begged us to cut costs. We didn't listen. Mampamistic behavior. Government expenditure should be properly scrutinized and evaluated to avoid waste and misappropriation of public funds. This will ensure value for money expenditure to make tax payments meaningful. Signed, Dr. Joseph Obeng is president. This is their story. Now, I'll end with this one. Yesterday, our Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, who had earlier promised us that the passport office will be running 24 hours. If that happens and he doesn't do anything else, I'm sure Ghanaians will be happy with him. Because sometimes you apply for your passport. Find out me that document. You have applied for a passport and it takes forever if you don't know somebody. The document, you apply for a passport, And it takes forever if you don't know somebody there at the passport office. Passport office. It got to a point where we were even told that the booklets are finished. Yes. After we increased the price for the booklets, they told us the booklets are finished. Or they told us that the booklets are finished. It got to a point where we were told, point blank, the booklets are finished. Yes, we were told that. Don't you remember? Oh, you remember? Okay, let's read this together. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana presents its compliments to all diplomatic and consular missions accredited to the Republic of Ghana and has the honor to inform as follows. 1. That it has come to attention of the ministry that some Ghanaian visa applicants are not treated appropriately when they visit embassies, high commissions, as well as consulates for their appointments. In some instances, applicants are not provided with conducive waiting areas as they are compelled to be at the mercy of the vagaries of the weather. And he said this at his vetting. 2. There are also credible reports suggesting that applicants have to wait for about 6 months to secure appointments. And in addition, there appears to be no avenue created to provide services to applicants who may require emergency services or may have further inquiries on their applications or when they encounter challenges in using websites for visa applications. These issues are of deep concern to the ministry. It will be appropriate, if necessary, action could be taken to immediately ameliorate the challenges with a view to providing applicants with improved services. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana avails itself of the opportunity to renew all diplomatic and consular missions accredited to the Republic of Ghana and assurances of its highest consideration, signed in Accra the 24th of February, to all diplomatic and consular missions accredited to the Republic of Ghana in Accra. Now show me the photos. This one, yesterday somebody says, just mention the name of the embassy. We all know. Just mention the name of the embassy. These are Ghanaians. Some are students. Some had wanted to flee. Put the pictures up. Let's see them. They wanted to flee from the economic situation. Some are students. And the plastic chairs you see are not provided by the embassies or the consulate. No. People have seen an opportunity for business, so they bought the plastic chairs to rent to the people. Yeah. They rent them out to the applicants at a fee. I mean, what kind of inhumane treatment is this? It's raining. You find old women and old men. Sometimes they stand and they are shivering in the rain and they have to be there because if you shift your body small, you move and they come and call your cohort and you are not there, it's finished. So I thank Samuel Kujetua Blakwa for this. And I hope that this will be drummed home properly. At least you are taking money from the people. You are making money from the people. They want to go out. Some want to go for business. Some want to go for pleasure. Some want to go and educate themselves. Some want to go for medicals, whatever it is, because as a country, we have failed in providing the best quality medical services to our people. We bragged about Agenda 111, Agenda 111. Eventually, we were told that only one has been built. And yesterday, my friend and I were talking, and he was still telling me about the fact that, I said, look, the money we spent on starting all the 110, because not 111, 110, we could have just built 10 or 15 of them, and they will be up and running at this time. But we had to give contracts to friends and cronies. We had to share the cake, even though the people had not gotten what they are looking for. And this happens on a daily basis. The picture you are seeing, it happens on a daily basis. So I'm happy about this. And I'm not sure I'm alone in this joy. I'm happy about it. Manuato, please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning. Oh, sorry. Oh, you lose guard.